Whoa. Are we there yet, Brother Clark?
When we gonna be there?
Oh my god, would you quit fucking asking me that? Jesus, you're so fucking annoying with that shit.
Stop yelling at Brandon!
Well, I'm sick of their shit, Grandpa. Sister Marble and Brandon are making this trip miserable.
Oh, it's nice to have my grandkids around.
But they're not your grandkids. They're kids, but they're not related to you.
Well, I'm related to Beverly.
I just wish we could sail back to Amelia's hideout in peace. But instead, we've got Sister Marble and fucking Brandon running back and forth, splashing in the waves, fucking moving the sail around and singing the goddamn bottles of beer on the wall song over and fucking over again.
What's wrong with the bottle of beer on the wall song, Clark?
Yeah, Brother Clark. I thought you liked one bottle of beer on the wall.
One bottle of beer on the wall. One bottle of beer.
You take one down and you pass it around, Brandon.
Normally, I wouldn't give a fuck about the bottles of the beer on this song, but god damn it, you two, knock it off.
I'm separating you two. Sister Marble, you go up there. Brandon, you're going to stay back here at the back of the boat.
Okay, Brother Clark, if you say so.
Why we're going down Sister Marble?
Hey, Brandon, what's this?
Sister Marble, what are you doing?
I'm gonna race along the railing. Whoa.
Sister Marble, you need to be careful. Get off the railing.
Watch out, Sister Marble, be careful.
It's okay, Brandon. If I fall off the boat, I'll just sink to the bottom of the ocean. And I've really been wanting to see what's down there.
I want to see what's at the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, yeah, please. Can we, Brother Clark? Can we?
No, for fuck's sake, shut up.
No, nobody's going to the bottom of the ocean. We'll never find you. Unless you want me to tie you to a fishing pole and use you as a bobber.
Oh my God, my grandpa used to be a fishing lure bob and marble. It's in my heritage. Oh, can we, Beverly? Can we?
No, I don't think we can take that risk because then a fish might eat you.
A fishing lure bobbing marble. Now I've heard it all. No way, Sister Marble. That's so dangerous. That's never ever happened to begin with, and it's not going to happen today either. Now,
When I was a kid, we used to use marbles to fish.
Okay, fine. Marbles are the most versatile invention of all time. Is that what you want to hear?
It's exactly what I want to hear, Brother Clark. I'm so glad you're finally coming around. Marbles can be all kinds of things. Cocktail mixers, spray paint mixers, fishing lure bobbers. We don't have to just race on sandy tracks no more.
You can put them in your butt.
You're right, Brandon. You know, I've tried to stay away from being an anal bead because I thought it was beneath me. But now I think it's cool because you and me did it together.
You want to come up my butt? You come up my...
Here, Brandon. Whoa.
No, for fuck's sake, you two. No sex.
No ash play on the boat. No ash play. Mike Clark, where did you find Brandon?
Oh my god, he was just there, Beverly. I snuck into Bertram's place looking for you, but all I found was Sister Marble and Brandon. Everybody else was gone. And trust me, if I'd known how fucking annoying the two of them would be, I never would have let Brandon come along in the first place. I honest to God, should have just left his annoying ass there with Bertram.
You don't want me on the boat no more?
How could you say that? Brandon's my friend. My best good friend. And he bought me a popsicle.
Don't want me on the boat no more.
I'm sorry, Brandon. Please stop crying, you two. I didn't mean it. Brandon, now that you're here, you're a part of our team. I will protect you and take care of you just like I would anybody else. But you are being fucking annoying, so please, just sit here while I drive the boat, okay? Just sit quietly and don't talk.
Clark, could you please come over and rub my calves? They've been sore ever since I've been in the pit.
Of course I can, baby. I know you're in a lot of pain. Grandpa?
What?
Grandpa, could you steer the boat for a while?
I steer the boat.
Yeah, I have to rub Beverly's sore calves.
I'm fucking ashes. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust.
Well, I know you're ashes, but you're not completely worthless, right? You're in a priceless vase. Can't you just use it to lean in different directions, or at least just watch to make sure we don't hit an iceberg or something?
Fine. What the fuck ever, you fucking dumbass.
Jesus, he's an asshole. Ask him to do one thing and he throws a fucking fit.
Yeah, well, I don't trust him too much. Honestly, he's kind of annoying. Am I this annoying?
You're not annoying at all, baby. You're perfect. I missed you so much, Beverly.
But he's in my blood.
Blood doesn't mean anything when it comes to personality. And, you really have to give him the benefit of the doubt. He is sentient ashes cursed to an eternity of excruciating pain at all times. He's bound to be a little annoying sometimes.
I just don't understand how ashes could possibly be in pain. He's ashes. No nerve endings. No brain.
Beverly, I think... I'm just worried that... Oh my god, yeah, your legs are really mangled. You must have broken both of your legs when you fell down in the tunnel.
You think? Why'd it take you so long to come find me?
I didn't know... Beverly, once he banished me, I didn't even know how to get back to Goat Island. It was only with Amelia's navigational skills and her giving us a map that I was able to even find the way back.
Yeah, and we need to talk about that. You expect me to believe that you found Amelia Earhart and you didn't have sex with her?
Well, of course, no, Beverly, it's not like that. She's a sex trafficking victim. She doesn't just put out like most women do. Now, don't get me wrong, if she had not had that sort of trauma, yes, something probably would have happened, but she was giving off this vibe of just no sex, so...
Yeah, because I thought we were monogamous.
Well, I thought so too, but I kind of heard some rumors from Sister Marble.
About what?
Well, while we were falling down the tunnel, Sister Marble kind of told me everything about what you had been doing with Tristan, and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it, but I know you were in a relationship.
I'm gonna fucking kill that Marble. She is going to the bottom of the ocean.
Oh, what?
Sister Marble, why did you tell Clark?
I didn't mean to, Beverly. It's just that, well, I just thought that Clark deserved to know, because he'd been gone for so long, and I just thought, what if his heart was broken when he saw you with Tristan? So I just broke the news, just in case.
Well, I know about your and Clark's dirty secret, too.
What?
Would you like me to tell Brandon?
Tell me what? What's the dirty secret?
He's been using you to put him up his dick hole.
Oh my god, that was one time.
You did what, Sister Marble? Now that's kind of gross. And you told me you didn't have any feelings for Clark.
Oh, Brandon, that's Brother Clark. I don't have any feelings for Brother Clark. He's ugly.
That's not very nice.
Yeah,
Well, and he's like 30 years older than me.
Well, that's the reason I like Clark, is because he likes fucking my old saggy ass, and he's not too keen on the eyes, but it works out well.
I love being... I honestly, I have a fetish for old people. I think that's been well established in the last 135 episodes.
What do you mean episodes, Brother Clark? This is just another day in our life.
I think he's talking about that big old conspiracy where we're all being just narrated by two guys sitting in their rooms.
Oh.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
think it's
I've heard
fucking
that. I think
nonsense.
that's fucking bullshit.
That's
Yeah,
fucking stupid,
fucking
Clark.
bullshit.
It's fucking dumb.
I thought we got out of the cult storyline anyway.
Yeah, we did, so let's move on, Clark.
Okay, whatever you say. It's just... I think it's kind of crazy how all of this leads back to Bertram. I never would have thought... he was always kind of creepy, but I never would have thought that this all went back to Bertram.
I'm gonna fucking kill him, personally.
We definitely need to kill him, but now I don't know how we're going to get back onto Goat Island. He put the whole thing on lockdown.
Well, maybe we could bore our way in.
Bore? Oh, yeah, like go underground.
Yeah.
Hey, that kind of goes with what Sister Marble was thinking, she wants to explore the bottom of the ocean.
Well, I don't think we should enter from the bottom of the ocean. We can't breathe. We gotta dig our way down, but not dig straight down just in case we fall into a pit of lava.
Right.
We gotta dig down until we know we're under the ocean.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, obviously if there's any sort of caves, we have to be prepared.
Right, and we'd have to make sure there's a certain point, I've heard, where if you get down to a certain point, you just fall into oblivion. So we really have to make sure, we're being super careful.
You ain't gonna fall into oblivion. You can hit that bedrock first.
Oh yeah, you're right, I guess. The only way we would fall through is if we were somehow on some sort of creative mode where the physics you could just destroy blocks of obsidian.
If we were on creative mode, then there wouldn't be any antagonist.
Yeah, you're right, Grandpa, and God knows there's an antagonist. There's all kinds of antagonists that we come across. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, well, maybe digging underground's not the best way. I mean, I don't think goats are the best at digging.
No, I don't think. I mean, look at Brandon's hooves. They're not meant for digging. They're meant for, like, playing patty cake.
Well, I mean, maybe, if Amelia finished her airplane, then maybe we could, sail, we could parachute down into Goat Island.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, we could try that, but Bertram's already shot her out of the sky once. Who's to say, if he's not prepared, he could do it again?
Well, shit, I mean, worst case scenario, we just find the magic man again.
Oh.
Drink that disgusting potion.
That was a very nasty shot, wasn't it?
Yeah. But, I mean, it put us on the island pretty quick.
It did put us on the island, but I've never really cared much for sriracha.
Really?
Yeah, I just...
Flavorful and a little bit of tang.
I guess, but it's just like, it's kind of... it tastes alright. I mean, I have a bottle in the fridge at home, but, it's just kind of like... overrated. It's like bacon and coffee. Everybody loves sriracha. Shut the fuck up.
I'm right there with you, but I tell you what is a staple in my house is Tabasco.
Oh, yeah, you do like hot sauce. I mean, that's probably how you were able to make so much of that spicy jalapeno cheddar.
My jalapeno poppers are to die for, Sister Marble and Brandon. When we get out of this, if you guys like spicy food... Sometimes it's a little too spicy for Clark, and he gets the hiccups, but...
Oh, yeah, I don't really care much, too, but honestly, Sister Marble, the spicy jalapeno poppers with Beverly's special cheese, one of the best things she ever made.
Oh, I believe it. I love the spicy jalapeno cheddar.
Wait, what? Special cheese?
You didn't give me the special cheese from Capital Cheese?
I got the special cheese. I love the special cheese. You make it, Beverly?
Yeah. It comes from my tits.
Yeah, that's one of our most popular flavors, Brandon. Unfortunately, Beverly retired, so we haven't been able to get the concoction right.
Can I try to milk some out of her?
Oh, I mean, you'd have to ask Beverly. I mean, if she wants to make a special...
Well, I mean, at this point, what do you think, Clark? I mean, I was depleted there for a while, but I feel like I have plenty of breast milk left.
You've taken so much time off, I think, if you could shit some out, I think that's up to you.
Well, okay, yeah, I do have to shit pretty bad. Brandon, are you okay with eating it directly out of my adult diaper?
I mean, yeah, it's kind of like a paper plate.
It's honestly the best way to consume it. That's how Bertram had it the first time, and that's what got us the deal. I mean, this is the cornerstone of Capital Cheese. This diarrhea right here.
All right, let me... Oh, it's severely dehydrated. This ain't diarrhea this time. It's not going to have the right consistency. It's chunky and it's scraping me on the way out. Oh,
yeah.
Little bit of blood.
Yeah, Brandon, this won't be the exact right consistency because she's been in the cave and back...
It's okay.
When we had her up and running, we were pumping her full of vitamins and water and all kinds of stuff to make sure the cheese was perfect.
That's okay. I like my cheese rare.
Oh, okay. It smells great, Beverly. I mean, I want to try it myself, but this is all for you, Brandon. Give it a try.
Yum. Yum. Can I lick it clean? Oh.
Is it as good as the original?
I mean, I honestly think it's better. I think blood makes it a lot better.
Oh, like sort of like a blood pudding kind of thing? You're like the iron taste of it?
Yeah, because I'm anemic.
Oh, you're anemic.
Yeah, that's what Dr. Xavier told me.
Oh, yeah, I mean, if he told you, I believe it. I mean, he's a pretty good doctor, but besides the ass play.
The ass play, there's not much he can do about it. That's just how Dr. Xavier is, but we all think that he likes to do it.
I'm so glad that I don't have an asshole.
You should be glad, Sister Marble, but what you don't get the pleasure from getting stuff in your butthole.
Don't say that.
You don't got one.
I know, and I want to have the pleasure.
Oh my god,
Sister
you two
Marble.
are so annoying.
Give it the fuck up.
Ah!
What is it, Grandma?
Iceberg!
Oh my god! Look out! Okay, I got it. Alright.
You fucking idiot!
Well, you're the one driving this boat.
I can't move!
Oh my god. No, come sit over here, Beverly. We can finish. We're almost there anyway.
Okay, well, hold on. I gotta wipe my ass.
All right, everybody. We pulled up onto shore. Let me just tie off the boat
Can I
here.
get off the boat now? Can we get off the boat?
You got to wait until it's
I'm
in
gonna get
port.
off the boat.
Oh, my God.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah, we weren't docked yet. That's probably why you didn't realize how far down the ground was. You skinned your knee up pretty bad, didn't you, Brandon?
Let me get you a Band-Aid, Brandon.
There's a little first aid kit in the bottom of the boat there, Beverly.
I'll be okay. Brandon, are you okay? I skinned my niece and my leg is bleeding.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. That looks scary. I think I'm gonna pass out.
Don't pass out, baby, don't.
Oh my God, these two.
Honestly, let's probably ditch them. No.
They're a part of our family, Beverly. At the very least, we can't ditch Marble. I mean, we could definitely leave behind Brandon. I mean...
You wanna what?
No, nothing. But, Beverly, just if we do need a food source, I mean...
I just wasn't expecting my granddaughter to be so fucking old.
Well, I mean, you have to think. You've been missing for centuries, Grandpa. You've been assumed dead for decades and decades and centuries.
When I pictured being a grandpa, I pictured being a grandpa to somebody like Brandon. Not you, Beverly.
Well, okay. I had a grandpa, and you're not it.
Well, I mean, he is your great.
Blood don't mean shit.
Yeah, if you say so, Beverly.
What?
I mean...
I shoulda knew you were a fucking bitch.
Oh, Grandpa, we don't have to make it personal. This is a stressful time for
Fucking-
everybody.
All women are cunts.
Okay, Grandpa, no.
Enough of that now.
Now, that's just not true, Grandpa. I mean, we know for a fact that there are some good women in this world.
Who?
Amelia, Shelly Ann.
Amelia's a bitch.
Shelly Ann's not the bitch.
Shelly Ann's a half-wit.
And think about Samantha, her assistant. They're all good women.
She's good to look at.
They would never leave us behind, right? They would never just disappear for an extended amount of time. It's just, that is not what they would do.
I just wouldn't. I wouldn't think so.
And that's 3 women, Grandpa. So your statement, all women are cunts, you're wrong.
What about Hillary Clinton?
Oh, no, yeah. I mean, no, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, of course. I mean,
If you kill, personally, you kill 96 people, I mean, what can you do? And don't let me get me started on the emails.
yeah. Let's not get Clark all. We're docked now. Let's just start making our way downtown. Do you know where she was building this?
I don't know. Grandpa said, well, yeah, I mean, I guess it was in the center of, it was this big clearing. We kind of left behind some pebbles, but I'm not really seeing them anywhere.
I'm not seeing anything.
Oh, I mean, I guess there's, some footprints right here. I think this might be, I mean, this is an uninhabited island, so, I mean, these footprints, they've got to be ours or Amelia's.
There's definitely footprints going down this way.
Oh, yeah, okay, let's follow Brandon. Got the trail?
I'm sniffing it.
Oh, okay, yeah, give us a trail, Brandon.
He's so good. I'm so glad we found you, Brandon, and you're coming along with us.
Hold on, gotta take a leak. Smell another goat here.
Wait, do you smell there was another goat there?
Yeah, some sort of animal. I gotta piss over it because I don't want to know what it was.
I got to piss too.
No, you can't piss on my spot. You gotta go find somewhere else.
Oh, it's too late, Brandon. This is my spot now.
What the fuck, Clark?
Let's keep going.
Getting weaker.
Oh, hang on. Oh, I think, wait, right up here, yes. Right over here is where the opening to the clearing. This is right where,
What?
right up there, up the hill a little bit, there's a little clearing, and that's where Amelia was setting up camp.
Okay.
Come on, right this way, Beverly. I'm going to prove to you that we met Amelia Earhart. I know you think I'm crazy.
Well, I mean, okay.
I mean, your great-great-grandpa from centuries ago is here, but you don't believe that Amelia Earhart from less than 100 is here?
I said specifically, I think if you did meet her, I don't believe that you didn't have sex with her.
Oh, well, I mean, she will confirm for yourself. And I think you'll get the same impression I did. She is not putting out that kind of energy.
Clark, I think we got some bad news.
What do you mean?
Come over here and take a look.
Huh? Where is everything?
Looks like it's gone.
It's empty. I mean, there was a cabana here. There was like a huge airplane hangar made out of bamboo sticks that she had put together and she was building.
Look down there. There's a big old... You can see where a plane took off.
Oh my god, yeah, right here. There's the tracks through the mud.
I don't see no plane.
Grandpa, that bitch stole our plane!
What the fuck did you think would happen, you idiot?
I thought she was gonna be here!
I told you!
When we
She left me!
You're right, but she said that was because of her career.
She's lying!
I don't know what to do. I mean, we told her when we had spoken to... When we overheard Bertram and Beverly, we flew back here as soon as we could, and she said, I will stay here to work on the airplane, and then we will go take him down together. Did she or did she not say that?
She said it! I fucking heard her say it! This is what I'm saying, Clark! All women are cunts!
Oh, no.
A.W.A.C.
A.W.A.C. Fuck. I thought for sure that I would be able to prove that was wrong, but you're probably right.
I think you might be right. Maybe something scared her off, though.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Brandon said he smelled another animal. This island, as far as we knew, was uninhabited.
I mean, I smell another animal scent all over here, but I don't got enough piss to cover it.
There's okay, so there could be all kinds of wild animals on this island. I see. But, I mean, I don't know, Beverly. I mean, something just seems really weird. Why would she build the airplane and take it for herself?
She's a selfish cunt!
I guess so.
Clark, think about it this way. I have been sitting there for thousands of fucking years, and she found me. All she had to do was put me in her backpack and get me out of the same cave. I would have liked to have been just outside the cave even for 1,000 years for a change of fucking scenery. Dumb bitch couldn't even do that.
Yeah, you're right. That is really cruel.
Well, I mean, it doesn't sound like you had a very good, character analysis of Amelia. It seems like she fucked you.
Yeah, it really does. And, oh, hang on, it's a note. Is that the note? Okay.
What's it say?
Oh my god.
What's it say?
It says, Clark and Bartholomew, I'm taking the plane. I could not go against Bertram. He is my love. Signed, look at this, Beverly, Amelia Earhart.
That looks like her signature, yeah.
I know it does. I told you she was here.
In love with Bertram. Ew.
I know. She even knew. He shot her out of the sky and forced her into sex trafficking, Beverly, and she still is in love with him.
Well, I thought Bertram was fucking his secretary.
I think he is too, because look, Grandpa, tell him about Barbara.
Barbara? That bitch?
Yes, you said she was your wife.
Yeah. All women are guns.
And now she's with Bertram, too.
Yeah, she left me for Bertram at the first fucking sign of opportunity.
And then he banished you.
Yep.
He is dastardly. He is dastardly.
We gotta fucking kill this man.
I don't know what we're supposed to do, Beverly. I mean, we're out here in the middle of nowhere. How are we supposed to take down Bertram? We can't even get back to Goat Island.
I don't know.
But we've got to do something, and sitting around here and waiting for Amelia Earhart to fly back in with Bertram and come in and kill us, or all this other crazy shit that might happen, it's enough. I mean, we still have friends on that island that we need to save.
Honestly, it's a terrible fucking thing to No, we can't wait for Amelia, because she's a terrible fucking airplane flyer pilot.
She could have crashed, you're right.
Probably crashed again in some other fucking triangle. Dumb bitch. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Get the boat ready. Come on.
Sister Marble, Brandon, no songs, no talking. Sit on opposite sides of the boat. We've got a long ride.
Can I at least sing All Star before we go?
No.
Somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't this surface tool in the sand.
Hello and welcome to MOATAIF. We're back. And folks, we're back with another RECIDS! Oh!
Records.
Hello and welcome to RECIDS, where we review RECIDS. Last time, of course, we reviewed Adele's latest album, which has gone on to become her worst-selling album, but
Really?
the best-selling album of 2021. Ooh. Interesting little note there. But today, we're actually here to review RJ's pick. We're reviewing You Shpongled by Shpongle. What is your experience with this band, and how did you, like, why did you choose this, that kind of...
Yeah, I think the question should be like, how the fuck did I even come across Shpongle?
Right.
Well, I guess I heard about them through my friend Isaac, and he had been bugging me for like 2 weeks. He's like, you gotta listen to this song. Mm-hmm. You gotta listen to this band Shpongle. And I'm like, okay. And then one night, like, I was on the phone with him, and he's like, you literally just need to do it right now. Like, go put on I was high as fuck. Mm-hmm. He's like, go put on headphones, go lay down, and just put this song on. And it was Divine Moments of Truth. Mm-hmm. And that's the first Shpongle song I ever heard. And I was absolutely just transported into another dimension.
Yeah.
And I've just been hooked on it ever since. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. It's truly some of the craziest music I've ever heard.
I've heard very little like it, and what I found so remarkable when I first started listening to it was that, I just want to confirm this real quick, I'm pretty sure this album was written in 1999.
Yeah, 1998, I believe.
1998.
Yeah.
So far ahead of its time. I've never heard electronic music. This sounds like modern electronic music.
That's what I thought too. The whole time I was saying, like, this is so experimental, it could have been made today.
Yes.
And yet there's so much about it that is so experimental that, like, even modern electronic music doesn't really sound like that.
No, there's no, I've yet to find anything that sounds like Shpongle.
It's like it's still super experimental by today's standards, and it came out 20 years ago, almost 30 years ago.
Yeah, and I started to look into the group a little bit. I just want to do some double checking on my part too, just so I can make sure I'm pretty sure they're a British band.
Yes.
And they seem to have spawned from the 90s rave scene. Mm-hmm. And there's just this big underground rave scene in the 90s where everybody was doing just high doses of psychedelics. And I feel like it's not very talked about, because, you think of the 60s, you think of psychedelic use by a large amount of people, but this was like the resurgence of that, and it seems to have come out of that. And I think Wikipedia describes them as psychedelic electronic music.
Yeah.
So, like, obviously I was extremely drawn to it.
Yeah, and it is very psychedelic, and I think there was one time when I was tripping and you had suggested, I'm pretty sure, Divine Moments of Truth. It scared me too much to listen to.
A lot of people say that. A lot of people are like, I don't know why people recommend this to people who are tripping, because it scares them. It scares the shit out of Abigail when she's sober.
Yeah.
She doesn't really want to listen to it.
It's honestly creepy music. I will say that. Just a lot of, like, the atmosphere of it.
I don't find it creepy at all, though. I don't understand it.
We'll get into it as we go track by track, but what I was interested in was that it's just two people. I mean, there's more musicians, but it's just two guys, Simon Posford and Raja Ram. Raja Ram. Now, the whole time I was listening to it, I think so too. I was like, this is heavily influenced by, like, Indian and, like, Eastern music and Eastern...
A lot of world influences, yeah.
...culture. And so I was glad, I guess, when I looked and saw that there was actually an Indian man on the... in the production of it.
Otherwise, yeah, it'd be cultural appropriation.
Right.
Well, it turns out Raja Ram is Australian. Looks like he's the flute player.
Right, yeah, he provides the flute arrangements, which I didn't know was a part of this at all. And so I guess maybe we should just get into the first tracks here.
Yeah.
The first track is Shpongle Falls.
First off, can we just talk about how mysterious it is?
Yeah.
Shpongled to begin with. We're looking at an album called You Shpongled?
Yes.
With this creepy mask on the cover. I mean, that is creepy.
Honestly, scary art. Yeah.
What is being Shpongled? Well, we'll answer that question, I think.
I have here, it says, when I was reading beforehand, it says, Raja Ram stated in an interview that Shpongle is an umbrella term for feeling positive and euphoric emotions.
Okay.
Which totally makes sense.
Absolutely.
And I think that they definitely achieve that. It says Shpongle's music is heavily influenced by psychedelic experiences and frequently makes use of sonic textures that approximate psychedelic states.
Wow, I never even read that in the Wikipedia entry. That's exactly my feelings towards it. It really does some songs more than others really closely approximate certain specific psychedelic states, which is very interesting, but we can get into it.
This first song, Shpongle Falls, instantly, the first thing I thought, it starts out very ambient, and it has like a slow voice that's like played in the background. I couldn't really remember, I couldn't make out exactly what they were saying, but it was like this just really creepy, like, scary fucking voice. And then it comes in with, it's a more clear-cut voice, and he's talking about a spinning vortex. Spinning, and he says, like, spinning. Already, by the time that he starts talking about spinning, I felt like I was spinning already. I, like, laid down in the recliner, and of course, I'm a little toasted, and I'm laying there listening to it, and I kept having, like, visual auras of, like, a record spinning around, like,
interesting.
And I felt myself kind of, like, doing that, and so when he started talking about, this is a spinning vortex and it spins like this, and then the music builds up and progresses. It had me sold right away. Like, once the music actually started and it became less of that, like, creepy ambient beginning. I loved the bass riff when that came in. I kept listening to that, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's nice. And by the time, because at that point I wasn't even sure that there were going to be any instruments. Up until that point,
and then it comes in, and then it's very welcome and it's very warm, just like do.
Yeah. Then when the flute finally comes in, I erupted in goosebumps. Wasn't expecting it at all. Had no idea that there was going to be any flute on the album. So when it first started, I'm like, oh, fuck! Like,
right,
it was
you're in for a ride.
So beautiful. It literally gave me goosebumps, and the first thing I wrote down, absolutely resplendent and beautiful. Wow. Because, like, the song was so beautiful, I did not want it to end. I said about halfway through the song, I was like, this song makes me want to do psychedelics so bad, and then go back and listen to it.
Right.
Because this one isn't as scary, especially once all this music starts. I could really see that this would just make me feel absolutely euphoric. But then, of course, it ends again with some whispering, which is scary again. But at that point, it's like, whisper. And I'm like, ooh, that's creepy. But I did give this song a point because it's, like I said, absolutely resplendent and beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately what it does is it replicates a lot of the feeling of coming up on psychedelics. And it has sort of an energetic, like, tribal but yet electronic feel, which is always how I felt coming up.
Yeah.
Where I feel this burst of energy through me and these, like, weird emotions, and sort of just like the soundscapes they're able to get really replicate that. And I think it's a perfect beginning to the album because it's sort of like you said, it's kind of like pushing you into this state to be receptive to what is about to happen. And in that case, that's like replicating the psychedelic. It's a mirror of the psychedelic experience. And obviously, I gave it a point. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's a really great song, really strong start to the album. I didn't know what to expect, so it really, honestly, it blew me away to begin with. Number 2, the next track is Monster Hit. This one was really interesting. It took a while to grow on me because I don't really like the water sound effect that they use a lot in this song. It's kind of like it's more like bubbles, kind of, and that's a lot of the song. I don't really like the water sound effect, but it was interesting because for parts of it, it almost felt like the audio was intentionally maxed. And so, like, you couldn't really hear the value of the note. You were just hearing that they were playing music because it was so, like, it was so loud, but it was very intentional, and I thought it was really interesting.
Yeah.
I wrote down musical motifs come and go like thoughts when you're high, because there are so many things when they'll just literally, like, there was a moment where there was just a four note progression that was dissonant. And I was like, oh, that sounded so good. Never happened again. Mm-hmm. It was so completely random.
Yeah, I like that. That does happen when you get high too. It's just like these, like,
very interesting thoughts come in and they just disappear as quick as they come.
Yeah, literally. And so there were so many times, that one specifically, where something would happen, like they just mess around a little bit, play like one note, and sometimes it works and it'll carry on through the rest of the album. And sometimes it's just this like one-off thing where you're like, what the fuck was even that?
Right.
But I really loved that about it. But they didn't really get me until the part where they just literally take a hit in the middle of the song.
Right.
I was like, that is fucking genius. Like, right away, that's a point. And then right after they fucking take a hit on the fucking bong or whatever they're hitting on, the flute comes back in. And I'm like, oh my God, the flute is not just a one-song thing.
Nope.
Fuck yes. Like, this, yes, I love it.
Flute's a staple.
It's absolutely a staple. And by this point, I was like, absolutely, gotta give it a point. But I didn't really like this song that much. But I have to give it a point for sheer experimentation. And it was an experience to listen to it.
I think I'm almost positive the hit they're referring to is a hit of DMT, because this song just absolutely, it really captures the feeling of it. It's not a direct representation, but it really captures the feeling, specifically like the tribal sounds that come in.
Yeah.
That's the feeling you get almost right before it's about to happen. Like you're about to participate in something that's sacred. And they really get that well. And it's these recursive sounds that start to happen, and where like the sounds are looping on top of each other. And like you were saying, like it's hard to even make out individual sounds.
Right.
It's all blending together into this weird combination. And, you know, near the end where it's like an alien carnival, that's the exact feeling of what it is. Just this alien carnival type feeling.
Yes.
Absolutely just... Still, I want to say again, it blows my mind that this was made in 1998, because not many people were talking about DMT then.
Yeah.
This was not a known thing.
Yeah.
This was like the underground communities, and these people dedicated what I think they dedicated an entire album to it.
Oh, yeah.
Which is amazing.
I think so, too. Yeah, for sure.
To just share that feeling, I gave it a point. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely a deserved point. Number 3, Vapor Rumors. When I looked up this album afterwards and just the band in general, this was actually their first song.
Really?
Yeah, this came out on an EP before this album, and then, I guess, sort of jump-started the whole thing. And it makes sense, because the first thing I write down for Vapor Rumors, this is fucking genius.
Yep.
It's like just the first thing I said. Like... Because it carries over because this is one thing I really love about this album, and just music, and a lot of albums in general, but this one does it especially well, is one, just bleeding the songs into the other, carrying over like the last few notes of the last song into the first few notes of the next one. I love that. That happens here. But also, it carries over a lot of motifs. Like in this one, we still have them coughing from the DMT hit they took in the last song, which I love that. You know what I mean? And I feel like if you just listen to Vapor Rumors, you'd be like, why is there coughing? But because we've listened to Monster Hit, we know they're still coughing about the hit that they took in song number 2. Genius.
Yep.
Absolutely loved it. I love that it starts out. This was the first song that was like 10 minutes, I believe. Because the first 2 songs, they're long, but I think this was the first. They're longer,
but this one is definitely...
Yeah. This one starts out with a lot of atmosphere. It sets up... We've got news reports talking about an alien invasion. Not UFOs. An invasion, but a UFO has landed. We're making the first contact with alien life. I really liked the atmosphere that they built at the top of this song, and I really liked it because I felt like I was watching a movie, and it's all just encapsulated in this one song. We have more of that sumptuous flute, I say, because every time the flute comes in, it's so emotive. It's so beautiful. And this album especially made me really think, I mean, I kind of, I like the flute. But this one made me really be like, the flute is one of our greatest instruments. Like, that's beautiful. Yeah. Like, that is fucking beautiful. There's a part in the middle where I only can describe it as the Buckethead effect, with like the guitar starts doing like, kind of sounds like Buckethead, how he does the like... Yeah, exactly, yeah. I don't know what that actually...
I don't think that's a guitar. I've been trying to figure out exactly... I've asked a lot of people what they think it is.
Yeah.
I think it is extremely modified audio of throat singing.
Oh.
Like,
Yeah.
I think they took that
I
and
think
just
so, too.
manipulated it to a point where it's its own thing.
I have noticed that a lot in the album, maybe on this song too, where like I feel like it almost sounds like somebody is about to start singing, but then it's just like they stop it. It's like, why? And then it moves on doing it. So you might be right. I think you might be right with that. But I wrote it down as a Buckethead effect because to me it reminded me of like the guitar for Buckethead. But I realized as I was writing my note, I said love the Buckethead effect, and then I noticed there's pan flute playing behind it. So like behind this fucking Buckethead guitar effect, there's like a different quality than the flute, but just as iconic. I mean, what pan flute? It blew my mind.
Yep.
So then there's the part we get to like an interlude and we're back to the TV reports and they say we're about to make contact with the alien for the first time. And then he's like, oh wait, there's something happening. First he says there's a vapor. We're getting some sort of vapor, some sort of something's fall. And then he says, oh wait, something's happening. And the music kicks back in full force. That scared the fuck out of me. I was like, oh my God. I started literally crying. It moved me. I was like, oh my God.
Dude, I cry to Shpongle all the time.
These people are getting mauled by an alien. I'm like, oh my God. It blew my mind. And then by the end of it, it gets into this really, sounds like we're in the alien ship almost, or we're in space because it's taken from this, the quality of the tones now sound so, they just sound more electric, more like futuristic, I guess.
Yeah.
Which I just absolutely incredible. Absolutely gave this song a point. It's truly genius.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot I can put on top of that you didn't already say. This is easily one of my favorite songs on the album, if not the.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah, I said, like, I don't really understand the song, like the narrative of the song, but I relate with it somehow. Like, I don't know what they're trying to get across, but it resonates with me on like some sort of deep level where every time I listen to it, it moves me.
Yeah.
And for me, it's especially the part where it starts going, the Buckethead effect, if you will.
Yeah.
I've never heard anything like that.
Yeah, it was
never heard
insane.
a single thing like that. Absolutely. Yeah, 1 point.
Yeah.
If I could give Vapor Rumors 2 points, I would.
Same. If we hadn't explicitly said that that's not allowed when I tried to give that one song 2 points, I would totally have given that song 2 points. Great fucking song. I do think it's the best one on the album for sure.
Wow, okay.
Next track, Shpongle Spores. Shpongle Spores. Shpongle Spores. This one was a little disappointing to me. I said so far every song up until this point has had a moment that absolutely shocked me. Like really where I was just like, what the fuck? Like that's amazing. Every song up until that point had almost like had to grow on me. It's like it starts out kind of atmospheric, but by the time you get to where the music is really like at its height, you're like, oh my God, I'm so glad I listened to this from the beginning to now because of the progression of this beautiful soundscape. This one didn't have that for me. This one felt a lot like an intermission because it just kind of stayed the same. They just kind of repeated the same motif over and over again. I said this one felt like an intermission, a chance for the audience to get up and get a glass of water. But I still can't give it less than a half a point because it's still experimental. It's still beautiful. Like if this was the only Shpongle song I heard, I would like it. It just I wouldn't listen to anything else. You know what I mean? So I'm going to give it half a point because it's not like it's ugly. It's just, it's weaker than the rest of the songs, in my opinion.
Yeah, I gave it a half a point as well for the same reason. I mean, it's a good song, but I usually skip it if I'm listening to the entire album. There's not much that happens. It is just a lot of like sort of, I don't know what the point of it's supposed to be.
I don't either.
It doesn't really fit on the album too much. And I mean, honestly, the album is already like an hour and 20 minutes. They could have taken it out.
I think of all the songs to take out, this would probably be the one. It really doesn't feel like anything happens. There's no like progression of it.
I'm thinking maybe one day I'll appreciate it for what it is, but I probably would have to be tripping to get it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the first 3 songs are intense as fuck.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you were on a trip, you'd be really going through it. Maybe it's a time just to let you relax.
That could be, yeah, because that's what I was kind of thinking. Like, it reminded me when I was tripping at Hannah Nicholas's house, and there was like this recurring thing of like, okay, well, now we're like when the wave, you come down from the wave and you're like, okay, I need to go get some water, or I need to go use the restroom.
Yeah,
before the next
you're
wave
sober
comes
for
back.
a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. And I think I don't know if this is like literally what they're trying to do, or if that's like, well, because the psychedelics come in waves. I don't know if it's literally like, these people are going to be listening to this and tripping balls. They need a break. I don't know what the point is, but it's definitely a weaker song than the other ones. And honestly, after Vapor Rumors, it was honestly a pretty big letdown.
Yeah, I feel like a lot would be a letdown after that.
Yeah. Track number 5. Only a couple more tracks left here. This is Behind Closed Eyelids. This one, at this point, I decided, okay, it's Behind Closed Eyelids. I'm going to listen with my eyes closed again. Because at this point, in the last song, I got up, I got a glass of water, I got high again. I just, resituated. And I'm like, okay, so I'm going to recline and listen to this song again. This song has an awful lot of sound effects. I tried to keep track of them. There's laughing. I don't know what these actually are, but there is laughing. There's what I called a goat going, eh. Like, it does that over and over again. Like, that's, like, the main one. To me, it sounds like a goat. There's voice clips from the intro, because at the beginning of this song, they play, like, Behind Closed Eyelids. And then, like, there's some, like, TV noise or radio noise or something, and they'll just, like, play words from that in the background. There's spraying. There's, like, at some point, it sounds like they're spraying Febreze.
Oh, like that's...
Yeah. There's thunder and lightning. And at the very end, there's birds. And there's rain. It was crazy to me. At that point, I'm like laying there. I'm like, why so many sound effects? Like, I'm waiting for. It's like, it feels very techno, is what I said, and like that's fine. It just I was really waiting for like a beautiful moment again. But what this song doesn't really have like this like beautiful moment. But what it does have is a very, very experimental, very experimental ending. Just like towards the end there, where the music just starts glitching.
Yep.
Like, I'm like, hang on. I think, like, I was listening. That's when I opened my eyes. I'm like, hang on. I went back because I thought it glitched. So when Spotify played it again, I'm like, hang on. I need to go to YouTube. And I listened to it a third time, and I'm like, okay, that's intentional. I'm like, okay. So then I went back and listened to it again. It blew my mind. That the glitch in the music during a drumming section, wow. Very techno. Love the flute motif. The last thing I write down, the glitches with 3 exclamation points. Wow. So I do give this song an experimental 1 point, but I didn't really like it. I gotta be honest. I didn't really like it, but for everything that it stood for and how experimental that was, almost just for the glitching at the end alone, I had to give it a point.
I really like this song, and I feel like what Shpongle does well is really captured in this song, where it's, I know you haven't really done this, Zach, but the quality of the music and the experience you get from it is greatly affected by what substance you are on. Mm-hmm. And I really find that with this, because it's like, I've never listened to this fully tripping. I've taken like half a tab before and listened to it. Mm-hmm. But even just when I'm sober versus on weed, like, the songs mean different things to me. And I've had very interesting experiences listening to the song, doing exactly what it wants you to do, behind closed eyelids. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of the sound effects are like, for me at least, it's like when I'm watching behind my closed eyelids and I am getting visuals, it's just random things that are popping up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I don't know why I'm seeing this, but I am. I don't know why I'm seeing dancing forks and spoons, but here they are.
Right.
And so I give it a point just for that reason. I think it, no matter what state of mind you are, it will send you into an alternate dimension if you let it.
Mm-hmm. It did seem very stream of conscious. Like, I got that feeling too, where it's kind of like, oh yeah, like, I did have some visuals that would pop up, influenced by what I was listening to. I kept seeing the goat, fucking bat over and over again. Yeah, it definitely does capture like that feeling where your mind is racing, or these visuals are constantly changing. So I do think I do think there's an artistic merit to it. I probably wouldn't listen to it again unless I was on drugs.
Well, I mean, the whole album is meant for when you're
right.
on drugs.
But I mean, Vapor Rumors, I would listen to that on a regular day. That's a good song. I mean, that's just a good song.
I drive around town fucking with that shit on blast.
Yeah, I listened to it. I was sitting in my recliner. I had Spotify turned up all the way, and then my headphones turned up all the way. It was awesome. It sounded so good.
It's a really good song to listen to in the car.
Oh, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Number 6, Divine Moments of Truth. Now, this is one that you had sent me before. Of course, like you said, this was your introduction to the band. This song it's good. It's definitely their most famous song, according to Spotify at least. It's got like 5 million listens, and like most of this album has like 700,000. So it's like definitely a lot more popular than the rest of the album. It starts with the Twin Peaks backwards speak kind of that we had talked about a couple weeks ago, where it's it's creepy as fuck. And now this is the one you sent me, and I'm like, I can't listen to that. That's scary. It's like and especially with like it's with the art, and then watching that and tripping and listening to it, it was scary. It was the only one I'd heard before going into the album. So like when I heard it, I was like, oh yeah, I know this song, just because I heard parts of it before. I love the Indian influence on the whole album so far, but especially it like rings most true here. Like there's a lot of like Eastern inspired. Yeah, literally. Yeah, it's very Eastern. I think it shows really well here. At some point, it turns to like Gregorian chants. They're in the background, which was scary. Yeah, it's like really creepy. It's really tribal, which is good, I guess. It like makes sense for DMT, especially with the sacred effects of it and the entities and all of that. It's made me laugh my ass off though when the electronic voice comes in and sings "Do DMT and LSD." It's a good melody. It made me laugh my ass off though. There's one point where there's like some nasal and throat chanting where it's like over and over again.
There's scatting in there too.
Yeah, it's crazy. That was one of the moments, this like back of the throat nasal chanting. At that point, I hadn't looked up any of the artists. And so at this point, I was like, this is so electronic, so much like synthesized, that when that started happening, I'm like, I feel like even if that's not the creators singing it, I felt like I was more connected to them in that moment. Because I'm like, oh, this is like one of the first times I'm hearing a voice that I think
human
might
influence
be them.
almost.
Yeah, exactly, right. I didn't like, though, at the end, the drum major stuff. There's like crowds chanting, like it's like a high school football game, and they're doing like literally they're like playing like drum major music. I really didn't like that. And there's like a whistle. I'm like, am I at a football game all of a sudden? Like it really took me out of it. So I ended up giving the song a 0.75.
Interesting. This to me is, if Vapor Rumors isn't the best one, I think this is the best one. And for me, why I think it's the best one is because this song to me, from the moment I heard it, this is absolutely, completely parallels the DMT experience. Mm-hmm. Every aspect of it. It is, I've like looked into this so much, and I didn't even notice until probably a few months ago. I think Abigail pointed it out to me, that Divine Moments of Truth, DMT.
DMT, yeah.
And the fact that, I mean, even in the song it says DMT, DMT,
yeah.
do, DMT. It's the exact duration of a DMT trip. I mean, it's almost exact 10.5 minutes. Yeah, that's the exact duration. And it parallels it perfectly because like it's like when you take the hit of it. Now, I've only done DMT twice. I've never broken through on it, but it's exactly what happens. Yeah. It's that tribal feeling of, what's going on. And then it turns into this sort of alien electronic sounds with like the DMT. Mm-hmm. And I think that's meant for when you've actually broken through.
I see.
And you're in this other world. And so that would be a very distant thing in your head. Mm-hmm. And what I think I love the marching band one because it's like, that's how it feels too, to come back to your body. It's like they're walking you back to your body. And, it's like the experiences I've heard of people who've broken through on it are, it's like a lot of people refer to them as the, what does Terrence McKenna call them? The gnomes, mm-hmm. the elves, whatever these entities are. They're always really excited that you're there. Right. And really excited to see you. And the marching band is like them walking you back to your body. I love it. I think it's genius because that's what it felt like for me too. Because it's like the first time I ever did it, it felt like every single atom in my body it was infinitely expanding and infinitely contracting at the same time. Like my entire essence was folding in on itself.
I see.
And to come back from that is a very like sort of jarring experience. And I think that's what a lot of it is, like, oh, it's like you're hearing these earthly noises to sort of be like, okay, you're going back to the fucking real world now.
I see. That does make
fucking
sense.
Genius. Yeah. And I love that it's the first song on the album to come out and just directly say, this is DMT inspired.
Right, yeah. There's no hiding it.
Because I never read the Wikipedia entry, like, I mean, clearly this is psychedelic music, but for them in 1998 to be this upfront about it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Love it. Absolutely love it. Divine Moments of Truth is fucking incredible.
It's pretty good.
1 point up. If I could offset it with 1.25, I would.
Just to outweigh me, I see. The last track, number 7, ... and the day turned to night. So, I mean, this was the least popular song on the album according to Spotify. Of course, it is 20 minutes long. So I think that has a lot to do with it. Because people who not a lot of people like to listen to long songs, I guess.
No, they don't.
And it makes sense. I mean, this is a very, very long song. It's the perfect culmination of the rest of the album. Like, all of the motifs are there. It feels like, this is like I wrote at the end, the very last thing I wrote is, I feel like I had a very rich experience listening from beginning to end because I knew where every motif came from and saw how it progressed.
Yep.
So I like that part of it. Like, I really liked that. But it was a little too long. I'm going to say it. I'll say it. It kind of starts out with more of this like channel surfing is what I called it. There's like a lot of different like either radio frequencies or TV frequencies that you hear. At one point you hear snake charmers, which made me laugh. I loved that. I just like had that. It says, I like the channel surfing beginning, and then suddenly the flute comes in again, and that's like basically the rest of the 19 minutes. It's a very atmospheric song, but halfway through, I'm wondering if the song will ever end. Nothing is standing out to me. Yeah, nothing is standing out to me like at all, and it feels like the end credits of an action movie, and I mean like deep into the credits. we're the post credits scene or the during the credits bloopers are over. The music of the theme song is gone, and we've gone on to this more atmospheric music that plays at the end. And I said, I'm the worker at the movie theater cleaning the aisles of popcorn and candy, but we haven't turned the lights on yet because the credits are still rolling, because the song just goes on and on and on. I said, God damn, a lot of people worked on this movie. At some point, there's snoring. It sounds like the person is snoring. Now, of course, the song is called The Day Turns Into Night, so I'm like, snoring? I guess so, because it's night after all. They fell asleep during the end credits. And then the TV station that they're watching the movie on starts playing a show that starts with accordion. That's what happens in the song. Uh-huh. It's like this crazy, I don't know what the point, I don't know what the point is. And the whole time, it's another one of these songs where I'm like, when is it going to shock me? When is it going to... When am I going to feel the Shpongle? And this song never did. But again, I couldn't give it no point because it's still good. Like, it still has merit. So I gave it 0.15.
0.15. Okay. I think it does exactly what it like wants to do, which is, it's like the come down.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was, this channel surfing. I feel like it's a lot of like when you are coming down, it's like you have 1 foot inside that world and 1 foot in the other. Mm-hmm. And it's this sort of parallel, and it's the day turns into night. It's just coming down from everything that just happened to you. And you're sort of remembering and integrating everything that happened. And that's why I think a lot of the motifs from the album come in.
I see.
And I like that even... Like what also parallels coming down is I wrote about 12 minutes in, you get this sort of you get a lot more colorful sounds coming in, and sort of like almost like your last little wave of it where you're like, okay,
right,
and then that's where it goes into snoring and like, okay, I'm gonna go to bed. Which is
right.
I mean, it's hard to say. You really would not listen to it if you did not listen to the entire album, and maybe you're just too fucking you're tripping too hard to even turn it off.
Right.
I give it a point, though. I think it does what it wants to do well.
I mean, especially the way you describe it, it reminded me, like, I did think, like, okay, this reminds me of the very end of my trip, and I'm watching Barbara Bush's funeral while I'm literally, like, I'm still tripping, coming down off of this acid, and I'm watching Barbara Bush's funeral. It is a weird experience. Like, I did like that, which is ultimately why I couldn't give it no point. But yeah, it's not like it was a good way to end the album, but I just
It did go on a little long.
it's a little long.
Yeah, like the album does not have to be an hour and 20 minutes.
No.
Could have trimmed this one down a little. Could have trimmed Shpongle Spores down a little.
Or yeah, just cut that one off the album.
Yeah.
Shpongle Falls, Monster Hit, Vapor Rumors, Behind Closed Eyes, Divine Moments of Truth, and a shortened And Then the Day Turns to Night. That would be a perfect album.
Oh, absolutely.
But it's not. All right, folks, the results are in. Shpongle, actually, Are You Shpongled receives one of our highest ratings. I gave it a 5.4. RJ gave it a 6.5 for a total of 11.9 out of 14, which is an 85%, folks. Woo! That's a pretty high score. I don't have the list anymore. I need to go back in time and create a list again, and so we can just know. But I know Black Star received a perfect rating, so I know there's one that did better.
Yeah, I don't know if there's any other albums though that have such a high score.
I don't know. It would be interesting to see.
For us both to agree on something like that is rare.
Yeah, it was a great album.
And if we do agree, we agree that it's bad.
Yeah, exactly. It was a really good choice though. I definitely kudos to Dizek for introducing it to you, because I mean it's perfect for you. I mean, perfect music for
Right, big shout out
your
to Dizek
interests
for
and
that one.
everything. And I mean, I was interested to see, so I watched afterwards. I was like, I want to see what this is like live, because on their Wikipedia page there's like a whole paragraph about listening to it live. So I watched a clip of like a performance in 2012, and honestly it was like embarrassing.
Really?
Yeah, I was like, I don't like this, because they were like wearing like costumes, and I don't know. And
I don't think this really lends itself to live music.
no, and that's what I was thinking too. The whole time I was watching it, I'm like, this should just be listened to as an album. They haven't played live since 2018. It was their last live show, but they have been releasing some music since then. I don't know if it's any good. It would be interesting to see what a 2020 Shpongle album sounds like as opposed to a 1998 Shpongle. Is it more of the same, or is it completely fucking out of this world crazy? I guess we'll have to find out. But
The last thing I heard was Nothing Lasts But Nothing Lost, and I'm trying to figure out exactly when that came out. Mm-hmm. There's a remastered one from 2019, but I don't think that's it.
There's an album I saw that came out in 2017, like something Cryptic 9 or something like that.
Yeah, and I see a lot of things talk about the Codex ones.
Oh yeah, Codex, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but I don't know exactly when. It would be interesting to. I don't know when the album came out. I mean, it says 2020. It might have been 2020.
Yeah, I guess it might have been.
Still good though.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how they. I was really interested to see that Raja Ram is fucking 80.
What?
Yeah, I was like, oh my god.
Damn, brother.
Yeah, so he's I don't know how much longer he'll be making Shpongle albums, but
Yeah. Well, rest in peace, Raja Ram. I mean,
we called it here first. Yeah, called it here first. Folks, thank you for tuning in to RECIDS. Next time we do a RECID, not the next episode of MOATAIF, but the next time we do a RECID, we're going to flash back to episode 38. We're doing another local SoundCloud album review. We're going to review the Azui-winning Little Dane's album, The Danication, which I believe came out in 2013, the year we graduated, but I can't remember if... I know there's been so many editions. There's like Danication 5, just like Carter 5 coming soon, but I know, like... I don't know. I'm pretty sure the Danication came out in 2013, the year we graduated, so we'll be flashing back a little bit. But we'll try to do it live so, everybody can get the same experience of reacting to some some probably bad music.
Yeah.
Some probably bad cringe music.
Sorry, Dan.
Yes, sorry, Dan. Until then, folks, tune in next week when we'll be reviewing Jackass Forever. Finally, it's about fucking time for this shit to come out.
Ready for my boy Johnny.
Yeah, can't wait to see my boys. So, folks, until next time, stay out.
You people don't do anything.